Let's take a trip. 2 years with the Traveler guitar.
Look at the experience the players have been playing.
Sitting on the seat. Let's go. I've been carrying this guitar around the world for the last 2 years, and I've never changed the strings. We'll take a really close look at the strings where they're wearing out. But, I haven't actually heard the difference. I'm sure there is a difference. That's why I want to test it. We're going to record on my Tascam. I'm going to hit this button here, and it'll start recording. And it's recording into the input off of the guitar. So we should get a pretty clean idea what it sounds like. I'll start with a little strumming. And I'll do that same strumming on it once I've changed the strings. Okay, with the new strings on, nice and shiny, I'll show you a nice close-up picture of the job we did here, and put nice lemon oil on the fretboard, which was really crying out for it. Let's see what it sounds like. Again to the Tascam, and I'll play the same chords and then picking sequence and see how it's improved, hopefully. Okay, so as you could see from the Tascam that was showing on the top there, the difference between the original with the original strings and the new strings, no difference. I'm not going to make you listen through the whole thing because it sounds the same. And I recorded it on the Tascam monitor so that we could also see that the levels were the same, which is amazing. Really, 2 years these strings were on here, and other than the fraying that was obviously going to break a string pretty soon, the sound was pretty darn good. I wish I knew what strings it actually had on it when it came. I replaced it with those D'Addario, and they sound the same. So they must have been pretty similar, normal tension strings. But that's what I learned. And just following here, I'll show you a couple of things that I saw when I took it all apart. And we'll just talk a little bit about the repairs and so forth that had to go on this guitar for the 3 years I had it. It's the second guitar. I had to return the first one to Amazon because the 1/4-inch connector was loose, which became the problem on the second guitar after about 6 months. It loosened up, and it was starting to be a problem. So lots of little things to show you about the Traveler guitar in 2 years. But let me say, I have no complaints. This has been an incredible instrument, and it stands up to the wear and tear of being dragged around on airplanes and all around the world. The strap problems I was having with it, I just simply figured a workaround for that. I'll talk a bit about that. But because of the strap problems, I dropped it several times. And so there's some damage on it that's caused by that. So we'll talk a bit more about that, but the string problem was not really a problem. One thing that's noticed when taking off the old strings is that there was a mistake made here. We had a double wrap here, a double on the E, a double wrap on the A. The D is only single wrapped, and then we follow a single wrap on the G, and then the B and the E are okay. They're double wrapped as they should be. But yeah, that's never actually created a problem, but it just was a bit of an error in the original put together on this. They did a very neat job, though, of tucking the strings under, and I'm going to try and do the same thing when I redo this. Also, by the way, what a grimy mess the fretboard is, right? So I'm going to give this thing a good oiling and cleaning. So it's going to be squeaky clean when we're done. Polished up and ready for new strings. Pro Art nylon corded Arios. Interesting way that the knot's been tied off on the nylon strings. And the bronze wrapped strings are the same. Also pulling the saddle out, you can see that it's got a nice flat bar for the piezo that obviously makes a really good contact, and one of the reasons why it's got such great sound. The rolling bar that the strings go over just slides in. It's loosely fitted, so it's obviously giving it a full range of motion. We flip this over. It goes in like so. Guides the strings. So the final reassembly, looking really good. Knotted off. I actually matched the mistake and only single wrapped the D string, which was not on purpose, but maybe it's some kind of a voodoo that goes with this guitar. But it's looking very nice, and I'm looking forward to getting it back out on the road. The biggest trouble with this guitar has been the 1/4-inch connector coming loose 3 times. This second time was when the guitar was just 6 months old. I ran into a problem with it when I was in the UK, and when I had my X-Vibe transmitter in it and pulled it out, along came the socket, and along with that you've got a very short wire that broke off, so not a lot of room to work with. I was able to solder it together and was able to do that last video. So I'm going to give it a try to do a better job of fixing it this time. One of the problems is that there's a nut that needs to hold this inside here. And without that nut, and there's nothing to hold it in. I put tape around it when I was in the UK so that it was jammed in there a bit. But and then that didn't hold. When I went to pull out the transmitter again, it popped right out on me. Just 3 months later in September, it failed yet again. But this time, KGB Music in Birkenhead, UK, came to the rescue and did a beautiful job giving it a final fix. It's not broken since. All the dropping of this guitar and the constant back and forth on the 1/4-inch plug, all the work being done on it, tightening it up and so forth, had really taken a toll. There are some serious cracks were forming, and I was afraid this guitar was done. I didn't see a way that we could actually make it work. This mark you see here, the round mark, is from a vise that I had put on it, a clamp that I had put on it to hold it in place. And this glue set, this Bond Extra glue set, was amazing. I'm just going to say that I was wondering why there was a push pin in there. Well, that push pin allowed me the ability to just stick this in the crack and ever so little widen it in order to get the tip into the crack and be able to put this glue. It's a 2-part glue that just it was amazing, absolutely amazing how quickly it set and how well it held. And as far as I can see, there hasn't been any movement on any of these cracks that I filled since I made that repair. Now, this is certainly the weak spot on the guitar and something to keep my eye on. But if you have this problem with any wooden object, and guitars included, this stuff is highly recommended. Okay, this is October 22nd. It is 2 years to the day that I received this guitar. And I got to tell you, traveling around the world with it has been a great adventure. It's been a terrific companion. I wouldn't have picked any other guitar. This one has really suited my purpose perfectly. The trick with the strap button, you know, if you're going to use this strap button as a part of the 1/4 inch input or 1/4 inch plug, here we go. Only do it when you're going to have a 1/4 inch in it. Even if you use something like a blank, just to hold that strap on, because otherwise it's going to pop off and you're going to drop the guitar. It's happened to me several times before I figured that out. So those are all the fixes that it needed over the course of those 2 years, and it's playing beautiful with new strings. Keep messing with music and do it with the Traveler guitar.